Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Spider-Man City of War, issue number 2 of, I believe, 5. This is part of the Gamerverse, so based on the video game that happened about a year ago. You could pretty much see that just from the cover, right? You remember when this guy showed up and all the other demons. So we're going to talk about the new content that showed up in here and a few other things. Just give me a hot moment. So we got Dennis Hopeless Hallam doing the writing, artist Michelle Bandolini, David Curiel doing the colors, VC's Travis Lanham on letters, Clayton Crane doing the cover art, and there's some variant cover artists, Marco Cicchetto, and another by David Nakayama, who does the Sinister Six Electro variant cover. Spider-Man was created by Stan Lee, along with Steve Ditko. So we get the Swarm, which is just freaking awesome. there's stuff in the back about the design of Swarm. I believe this was the very first episode of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends way back in the day when I was a kid. I remember that when I was waiting for that to come out because all I had was that, what was that, from the 40s or the 60s? I guess for the 60s. That original Spider-Man TV show, which was cool, but Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends kind of took things to a whole new level. So, plus Spider-Girl, Firestar was like one of my first crushes, is what it is. No one will ever replace Chitara for me. So, yeah, we get a whole bunch of stuff here. We get a bunch of new content, but the most important content that we get is actually backstory for Miles Morales. This is hot. This is hot. This is exactly what they should be focusing on as far as I'm concerned. Look, you got all this stuff going on with Spider-Man Peter Parker, right? I'm going to need to see a little bit more about Miles Morales. In fact, I'm going to need to see a whole lot more about Miles Morales. This is the video game universe, the Gamerverse, right? That's what it's called, the Gamerverse. Yes, you got a whole new hot product where they could literally take this to a level like the Ultimate Universe was. You got a whole new universe where you just retell all these stories, and the only story that's been told so far is what's in the video game. So they want to put in a whole bunch of new downloadable content and stuff like that. Sure, baby, you go right on ahead. But here, in this comic book, in these comic books, sister companion to that, and you put a whole bunch about Miles in there, and after that we can have Daredevil and all these other characters. Here's the thing about that: the only way we're ever going to get comic books featuring Daredevil in the Gamerverse and all these other characters in the Gamerverse is if we get more new content in this Spider-Man book. Was there enough new content in this particular issue right here to warrant buying this comic book? No, there was not. There was more than enough in here for, if you see somebody reading this on the bus, you just, go right over top of them and start staring and whatnot. If he gives you a problem, pass him a quarter, be like, here you go for your troubles, pal. But, let me read over your shoulder for crying out loud. Maybe $1. Maybe give him a whole $1 because, comic books are expensive nowadays. But, yeah, worth the price of admission? Not yet. Not yet. There's all the emotional stuff, like I said, right up until the funeral where Miles' mom dies. But there could have been a lot more new content here. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, and I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know what they got planned. But based on just my observations as a reader who doesn't talk to Dennis Hopeless Hallam or anybody else, I just don't think that there was nearly enough content in here to warrant a new comic book. No. Not when there was zero new content in the previous issue and there was the promise of new content in this one. I knew I should have asked how much, right? I don't know who I would have asked. I don't know who would have responded. But look, there's still the potential. Make no mistake, there's still the potential. I will be buying issue 3, all right? Whether you should or not, I'll give you a heads up. Because, yeah, we need a lot of new content. A whole lot more new content to make something like this worth it. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Should be a short review because there's not a whole lot to really discuss. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.